everyone, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about the making of the constitution, which is chapter 2 of Lakshmikant. First of all, let's talk about a story. Initially, when there was no election, there were only the crown rule going on. Then Indian National Congress, after the revolt, or we can say the revolt of 1857, धीरे धीरे क्या हुआ कि इंडिया में कहीं ना कहीं आंदोलन अपनी अपनी रफ्तार पकड़ने लग गए, राइट. गांधी जी, जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी, उस टाइम चंद्रशेखर आजाद, and after that many independent fighters were asking for the freedom. But in between, what happened that in 1935, after the 1935 government of India act, the Indian National Congress started to demand for the Constituent Assembly, which is they want elections, and in which they also stood up for a condition in which they were asking for the basically that the whole constitution will be made by them, or would be made by them only. There will be no interference of the Britishers or any other outsider into that. So first thing is very clear, they were demanding what? They were demanding the Constituent Assembly. After that, when there was so much mess going on that Muslim League was asking for the Pakistan, the Constituent Assembly elections happened. And after that, what happened the next, that after the Constituent Assembly, Muslim League backed out that they will not attend any Constituent Assembly regarding this. And after that, what happened कि जैसे ही मुस्लिम लीग बैकआउट मार गई, इस बीच में क्या हुआ कि एक ड्राफ्टिंग कमेटी बनाई गई. Yes, before that in 1946, they made a drafting committee in which they were discussing about the constitution and its structure and the articles they want to add. They want to add in that, right? So, first of all, what we will discuss about the demand of the Constituent Assembly. Right after the 1934 or 1935 Government Act of India, as mentioned, Indian National Congress demanded for the Constituent Assembly, and after that Constituent Assembly election happened, and in which a special code, that is, the Constitution of Free India must be framed without outside interference by the Constituent Assembly elected on the basis of adult franchise, which is the vote. Okay, so what they were asking about that the constitution we are making, in which no interference of the any outsiders will be tolerable, right? After that, what happened that the composition of Constituent Assembly. Now, Constituent Assembly का composition क्या था? There were 389 seats, right? And out of which 296 for the British India and 93 for the princely states. Right, 296 for the British India and 93 for the princely states. Out of this 296 seats, 292 were allotted on the basis of what? On the basis of population, right? On the basis of population of British India. After that, 11 governors of provinces were added into them. And after that, what happened? Sorry for the mid break. First of all, what we were discussing about basically the seats, the formation. Out of 396 seats, 292 seats were allotted to the states and 93 seats were allotted to the province, right? Out of the 296 seats, they were allotted according to the population of the states, also plus 11 governors, right, of the states. And after that, coming on to the province section, all the provinces seats were allotted according to the caste culture or the community culture. Like for Muslims, there are separate seats. For Sikhs, there are separate representation seats going on, right? So this was the composition, or we can say the composition of the Constituent Assembly, right? Now coming on to the working of the Constituent Assembly. Before the working started, the Jawaharlal Nehru presented in front of the Constituent Assembly a objective resolution. What is objective resolution? In which they defined what this Constituent Assembly will do and what are the responsibilities or roles that we have to represent, or what are the powers in terms of territories of India, in terms of political as well as physical territory, right? After that, what are our viewpoints or stand on the minorities present in our society, and after that our ancient land disputes going on with other countries as well, So these were the main core areas in which they want to stand up or make constitution on the basis of these behalf, right? After that, changes by the इंडिपेंडेंट एक्ट. अब what happened, क्या हुआ था कि 1947 से पहले एक एक्ट पास करना था जिसके अंदर जैसे ही 1947 का वो एक्ट जो है उसको रद्द कर दिया जाएगा, उसके साथ साथ उसी का जो को कॉन्सिक्वेंस होगा जिसके अंदर इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को या एक न्यू इंडिपेंडेंट को लागू कर दिया जाएगा. नॉट द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन तो 1950 में लागू हुआ था, बट उसी के साथ साथ इंडिया के इंडिपेंडेंट को एक अलग एक्ट से पारित किया जाएगा था जो कि था इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस एक्ट 1947, राइट? अब क्या है अदर फंक्शंस. सम ऑफ द अदर फंक्शंस आर दैट it ratified India membership of the Commonwealth Games in 1949. It adopted Indian national flag. After that, national anthem, national song, and elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as the first president of India. Right? ये कुछ other functions थे जो Constituent Assembly ने perform करे. Now coming on to the committees of Constituent Assembly. Now अब जो था कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली ने काफी ज्यादा कमिटीज बनाई थी टू डील विद डिफरेंट मैटर्स ऑफ आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स. और टोटल 8 कमिटीज बनाई थी, जिन 8 में से जो मेजर कमिटीज थी और कुछ जो थी माइनर कमिटीज थी, राइट? जो मेजर कमिटीज थी वो थी यूनियन पावर कमिटी, व्हिच वाज द चेयरमैन ऑफ दिस कमिटी वाज Jawaharlal Nehru. Second committee was Union Constitution Committee. This was also chaired by Jawaharlal Nehru. Third one was Provincial Constitution Committee, which was chaired by the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And Drafting Committee, we all know that the chairperson of the Drafting Committee was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. After that, the Advisory Committee and Fundamental Rights Committee. So there are several committees, like in total 8 committees. Some of them were major and some of them were minor, right? Coming on to the minor committees. In minor committees like Finance and Staff Committee, Presidential Committee, House Committee, Order of Business Committee, Ad Hoc Committee, and Linguistic Provinces Committee, Press Gallery Committee, Ad Hoc. So in total, in minor committee there were 13 in total the committees, and in the major section there were total 8 in numbers, right? Coming on to the Drafting Committee. So the total members of the Drafting Committee were 7, right? First one was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who is the chairman or the chairperson of this drafting committee. N. Gopal Swami Iyengar, Aladi Krishna Swami Iyer, K.M. Munshi, Syed Muhammad and T.T. Krishnadri, and N. Madhavan Rao. Right? So this drafting committee has in total the core 8 members who were dealing with the basic structure, or who were deciding the basic structure and the articles which we need to add into them. Obviously later on they discuss it with the Constituent Assembly, and then after the majority, when the majority of them said yes or say aye on in the Constituent Assembly, then only the particular article will be added into the Constitution, right? Now coming on to the enactment of the Constitution. What is the enactment? Basically Dr. B.R. Ambedkar represents the whole constitution, drafted constitution in front of the committee starting from the November 4, 1948. It was the first time that he was reading in front of the whole Constituent Assembly, and this reading took almost 1.5 years, and it ended on to October 17, 1949. After that, when many amendment or many research papers were discussed and into the assembly, after that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said that the majority of them were ready to adopt this constitution. So we can say on November 14, 1949, the constitution moved or settled down, or we can say passed into our Constituent Assembly. After that, what happened in 1950, the constitution, our main, we can say, Gita or Bible of this India came into the existence, right? Now coming on to the enforcement of the constitution. Before that, enforcement of the constitution, let me clear you very first thing. Before 1950, जब तक एक constitution ये constitution पारित नहीं हुआ था इंडिया में, उससे पहले what we will be doing, we were taking Government of India Act 1935 या Government of India Act 1919 and mixture of them, considering it as a constitution, because उस during the period जब तक पूरा constitution दोबारा से draft हो रहा था, उस period में भी तो कुछ ना कुछ rules and regulations तब चाहिए थी. तो तब तक till the time we were following what 1935 का गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट. बट व्हाट हैपेंड हियर कि बिफोर जनवरी 1950 उससे पहले ही कुछ आर्टिकल जो कि हमारे से डिसाइड हो चुके थे टिल द टाइम नवंबर 26 1949 विच वर आर्टिकल 5 6 7 8 9 16 324 336 380 388 391 and 392 and 393 came into the existence already, right? And why specifically they decided the date of 26 January 1950? Because on 26 January date was supposed as the celebrated as Purna Swaraj. So that's why they decided that yes, uh, we will further we can say declare the constitution. Basically जब भी हम constitution को पारित करेंगे तो हम 26 जनवरी को ही करेंगे because of the Purna Swaraj, right? Now coming on to the experts committee of the Congress. Some of them were very expert in their own fields. Like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the lawyer, and he was so much in depth. He so much in depth covered all the constitutions of the world. So he has a very good brain. He has a very good depth, or we can say understanding into this part. So now we will be discussing about some of the experts committee of the Congress, starting off with the who will starting off with the yes, Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the chairman of this experts committee. After that, what all persons are there in this experts committee are M. Asaf Ali, K. M. Munshi, N. Gopalswamy Iyer, K. T. Shah, D. R. Gadgil, Humayun Kabir, and K. Satnam. Now, इतना कुछ हो गया. अब there were obviously the criticism going on regarding this constituent assembly. So the first criticism was it was totally led by Indian National Congress, or we can say by Congress, because before the time the Muslim League already dropped this constituent assembly idea and they were moved towards their own ideology, which is called the Pakistan right now. Right. So criticism was that solely the Indian National Congress is leading this constituent assembly, and there is no, we can say, uh, there is no mixture of any other ideology. So they were just doing their own thing, whatever they want. Right. So first criticism was this. Second criticism was that it is a monopoly of Hindus, because the Indian National Congress was totally बोला ये जाता कि Indian National Congress is the party of the Hindu people, right? So they were taking it as a majority that hey, this Constituent Assembly is also leading by the Hindus, right? After that, the third criticism was that the drafting committee took too much time, that it is a very lengthy process, and this drafting committee is very time consuming, so it is wastage of time. Fourth one is lawyer politician domination. As I mentioned, there were several lawyers, in spite of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as well, who know so much about the constitution of other countries. That's why, and mainly politicians. So the whole Indian National Congress was depicting as a mixture of lawyers and politicians, right? So there is no other in-field profession going on into this Constituent Assembly. So it is a mixture of totally politicians and lawyers. Next one is dominated by Hindus, as I already mentioned. So these are all the main criticism that we have discussed. Now coming on to the important facts. Important fact is that the elephant was considered as a seal of the Constituent Assembly. Seal is basically that thappa, that after that when you move, or we can say pass any article, pass any law or regulation, it should be, तो क्या होता है कि वो सील जरूर उस पर होनी चाहिए, राइट? तो कुछ कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट्स है. आफ्टर दैट क्या एक और चीज हुई थी कि जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन था हमारा, उसको ओरिजिनली सजाया था वो शांति निकेतन के आर्टिस्ट लोगों ने सजाया था, जिसमें नंदलाल बोस और बेरोहर राम मनोहर सिन्हा ने खुद अपने हाथों से उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की पूरी बुक को सजाया था, राइट? हिंदी टेक्स्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. This was the main, or we can say main headache for everyone, because everyone was dealing with, hey, in which language we are going to talk in Constituent Assembly, or in which language we should written our constitution. So this was the constitution text in which the constitution is written. So it was इट वॉज उन लोगों ने डिसाइड किया था कि हम बेसिकली इंग्लिश और हिंदी दोनों को रखेंगे, बट आफ्टर दैट काफी ज्यादा क्रिटिसिज्म आने लगा कि अंग्रेज तो देश छोड़ के चले गए, तुम क्यों अंग्रेजी अब तक उनको रख रहे हो, ये वो काफी ज्यादा इन सब पे भी हाँ हंगामा हुआ. So the translation of the constitution is in Hindi language, and the modification which are necessary in its conformity with the language style terminology adapted by the authoritative text of Central Act in Hindi can be made in it, right? And the translation of Hindi of every amendment of the constitution made in English as well. So as I mentioned कि English और Hindi text दोनों को prefer किया गया ताकि जिसको जिस तरीके से आसानी हो वो उस तरीके से समझ सके. बिकॉज उस टाइम पे जो पॉलिटिकल्स या जो उस टाइम पे कॉन्स्टिट्यूंट असेंबली में मेंबर्स प्रेजेंट थे, दे वर saying that we are belongs to the southern part of the India, so it's difficult for us to understand English. That's why they were preferring English language, but on the other hand some of them were preferring the Hindi language and they were totally against the English language. So कोशिश की गई कि सबको बराबर रखा जाए, तो इसलिए इंग्लिश और हिंदी को दोनों को अडॉप्ट कर लिया गया, right? So this ends the chapter over here. I hope you guys liked it. पसंद आया? If you liked it, please like, share, comment and subscribe. I will meet you in the next video very soon. Until then, goodbye.